Hello, everybody. With the new Descent of Dragons expansion just a few days away, I thought I would put out my own official card review. So let's get right into it. First, let me explain how I'm going to be rating these cards. So I'm not going to rate these cards by stars or tiers or anything like that. I'm just going to put them in several different categories. The first of which is competitive. And to me, that means the card will be in a tier 1, 2, or 3 deck fairly consistently. So that's my definition of a competitive card. And just below competitive, we have what I would call the fringe cards. These are cards that are sometimes in competitive decks, but alternate in and out of them. So still a good card, but not quite the cream of the crop of the competitive cards. So that's a fringe card. And then below the fringe cards, we have the garbage cards. These cards, you can call them pack filler, you can call them arena cards. These cards will not be in competitive decks consistently at all. So that is the definition of a garbage card. And then below the garbage cards, we have the tech cards. These are cards that are definitely only meta dependent if they'll ever see play. So there's only a few of these, but I thought they deserve their own separate category because they may be in competitive decks later down the line if we need to tech against something that's oppressive. And lastly, what I'm looking forward to the most, the meme and combo cards. So there aren't very many of them this expansion, but I'll try to highlight some and give you a few of my thoughts on some of the more special cards of the set. So let's get into it. All right, let's talk about Rogue. From a bird's eye, Rogue has some very interesting cards. There's obviously a Galakrond build, there's some Burgle Rogue support, and there may even be a new Death Rattle combo for Rogue. So let's take a closer look at the cards. All right, first up is a 1-mana 1/1 pirate, Bloodsail Flybooter. Battlecry, add 2 1/1 pirates to your hand. That's an incredibly valuable card. On the reveal stream, they somewhat compared this card to Firefly, and that's a pretty fair comparison, although 1/2s are definitely more valuable than 1/1s. In Rogue, having those 2 additional 1/1s in your hand are such fantastic combo activators. There's Edwin synergy, there's Evil Miscreant synergy, there's SI7 agent synergy. You really can't have enough small 1/1 spells or token minions in your hand as a Rogue. Yeah, they're always welcome in Rogue. I think this finds its way into most tempo rogue builds and the aggressive pirate rogue deck. So absolutely competitive for this one. Great value card. That's exactly what we're looking for in one drops. Great value or great stats, one or the other. And this has great value, so definitely competitive. Next we have a 1-mana spell for rogue called Dragon's Hoard. Discover a legendary minion from another class. So automatically this has great synergy with the most recent rogue quest. It's a great Burgle rogue card and provides great value for the late game as well. Additionally, this card has great synergy in a Miracle-style Auctioneer Rogue. We haven't seen that deck make a comeback recently, but I feel like it's one of those decks that's always on the cusp of playability, so definitely goes in that style deck as well. I believe this card will find its way into Quest Rogue, so for that reason I'm going to give it the competitive tag as well. Next, we have the first of the Galakrond cards for Rogue. It's a 1-mana Praise Galakrond. Give a minion +1 attack, invoke Galakrond. In this case, invoke Galakrond means adding a random lackey to your hand. And Galakrond's upgraded Battlecry essentially allows you to draw multiple cards that cost 0. This is an incredibly weak Galakrond card, but still probably has to be run in the Galakrond deck just to get the invoke value. This card also has the aforementioned synergy with Gadgetzan Auctioneer in a Miracle-style rogue, as it is a cheap spell as well. To me, it'll be interesting to see what kind of Galakrond deck actually develops, whether it's going to be more of a tempo style or more of a combo style, or even more of a control value style. It's really hard to assess right now what kind of Galakrond deck is going to come forward, but at the outset, I don't think Galakrond Rogue is that strong of a deck. We know that the invoke ability of Galakrond, adding a random lackey to your hand, is incredibly powerful because lackeys are very overpowered for their mana cost, so we know they're good. But I think the problem lies in is just a regular tempo rogue better than Galakrond Rogue? Because in order to play Galakrond Rogue, you have to put in some pretty subpar cards. And my thinking right now is that tempo rogue without Galakrond will be just better than Galakrond Rogue. So for that reason, I'm going to give this card garbage because it is garbage, but it's also garbage because Galakrond itself is garbage in Rogue. Next for Rogue, we have another Galakrond card. It's a 3-mana spell, Seal Fate. Deal 3 damage to an undamaged character, invoke Galakrond. Again, we see this as an incredibly underpowered card. Compare this to Walk the Plank, which is 4 mana. That's destroy an undamaged character. This is just deal 3 damage to an undamaged character. It's incredibly expensive for what it does. Cards like this, and the one we previously just reviewed, is the reason why I don't think Galakrond Rogue will be all that powerful next expansion, and I think Tempo Rogue will easily surpass Galakrond Rogue. So for that reason, this card is garbage because it's terrible, and it's also terrible because it's a Galakrond Rogue card. So terrible, terrible, garbage, garbage. That's my assessment. Alright, next we have a very interesting Death Rattle card for Rogue. It's a 4 mana 2/5 minion, Necrium Apothecary. Combo, draw a Death Rattle minion from your deck and gain its Death Rattle. Immediately this card seems somewhat similar to Grawl the Shark, and Grawl the Shark saw almost no play, but that may be changing with this next expansion. There's another card that we're about to review in just a second that synergizes very well with this card. It remains to be seen whether a Death Rattle Rogue will be viable as next expansion. Good Death Rattle cards are few and far between right now in Standard. At this moment, I would probably say Death Rattle Rogue is not good enough, and therefore I'd probably give this card the garbage tier rating, even though I think there's some very, very cool combos you can pull off with it. Next, we have another Galakrond card for Rogue. It's a 4 mana 3/3 minion, Umbral Shulker. Battlecry, if you've invoked twice, add 3 coins to your hand. It's a fantastic combo meme card, but as I've already stated, I don't think Galakrond Rogue is worth running. So outside of a combo meme potential where you need access to 13 mana, I don't think this will see any play. It's just not quite there. So for my purposes, combo and meme. For everybody else's purposes, garbage. Next, we have a very interesting minion for Rogue. It's a 5 mana 4/4 Stowaway. Battlecry. If there are cards in your deck that didn't start there, draw 2 of them. Right now in Standard, there's actually a number of ways to achieve this sort of card. There's Lab Recruiter, there's Shadow of Death, there's Academic Espionage, there's Togwaggle Scheme. So getting these style of cards in your deck is not all that difficult right now. I think this card is easily competitive in a variety of rogues. It goes in a Burgle Rogue deck, it goes in a Quest Rogue deck, it goes in a late game control style rogue. It actually synergizes very well with the card we're going to talk about next. So I'm excited for this card. It has great combo potential to tutor out very specific cards that you put in your deck. I'm excited to use it with Shadow of Death especially. So very excited for Stowaway. I think it's a great competitive card and it's a great meme card for my purposes as well. So excited. Next up, probably the most interesting card for Rogue, is a 5 mana 7/5 dragon legendary minion, Waxadred. Death Rattle. Shuffle a candle into your deck that resummons Waxadred when drawn. This is one of those cards that I so desperately want to work, but I'm not sure that it will. There's just so much value. It has a great stat line. It has great synergy with the Necrium cards, whether it's Blade or Vial. It has great shuffle synergy. If you shuffle the actual minion and you shuffle the candles, you can potentially just get this insane amount of Waxadreds. So I'm excited for this card. I hope it works, but I'm not sure it will because Control Rogue has never worked before. So I'm excited. I'm going to still say, I want to say competitive so bad, but I don't think it's going to be. I feel like it's ultimately going to be garbage, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it's somehow like this crazy tier 1 deck. But I think I'm still leaning towards garbage right now. But I'm hoping in my heart that this actually works because it's a very cool idea for a deck. So right now, garbage, but I'm positive on it. It's positive garbage. Next, we have a 6 mana spell for Rogue, Candle Breath. Draw 3 cards. Cost 3 less while you're holding a dragon. Now, this card seems pretty garbage just looking at it, because Dragon Rogue, how is Dragon Rogue going to be a thing? But wait, Waxadred is a dragon. This card specifically goes in a Waxadred deck, and that is it. So if Waxadred Rogue actually works, this card is insanely powerful. I'm still of the opinion that Waxadred Rogue will be garbage, so therefore this card will be garbage as well. But if it somehow works, this card is so powerful in that deck, I really hope it works, but in my heart of hearts, I can't give it more than a garbage rating. Next, we have the other legendary minion for Rogue. It's a 6 mana 4/4 Flick Skyship. Battlecry. Destroy a minion and all copies of it wherever they are. Immediately, this card compares favorably to Vilespine, which was a 5 mana 3/4 combo destroy a minion. So this is a little more expensive, but you have to view Vilespine as more expensive as well because that required combo activation, whereas this is a Battlecry, which is superior in that sense. While this card is more expensive than Vilespine, it's much better than Vilespine, as destroying all copies of the minion is certainly more powerful than just destroying the one on the board. The only problem with this card is you can't run 2 of them like Vilespine. I would say this card is competitive in just about every style of rogue I can think of. It's great single target removal, and then some. So definitely competitive. And lastly, we have the big boy for rogue. 7 mana Galakrond the Nightmare. Battlecry, draw 1 card. It costs 0. Invoke twice to upgrade, so essentially you draw more cards for 0. As we've already previously discussed, the hero power is add a lackey to your hand. At this moment, I have trouble seeing a version of Galakrond Rogue that is superior to Tempo Rogue. While generating lackeys is a nice effect, Tempo Rogue can already generate a lot of lackeys, and they don't have to run several subpar cards to do it. So I don't see Galakrond Rogue being better than Tempo Rogue. So for that reason, garbage rating, unfortunately. Alright, let's take one last look at all the rogue cards. First, Bloodsail Flybooter. I think it finds its place in an aggro pirate rogue, and I also think it finds its place in a rogue that requires a great deal of combo activation, whether it's through Evil Miscreant or Edwin or any number of things. So definitely competitive, great card. We're going to be seeing a lot of it. Dragon's Hoard, I believe, goes in a Burgle Rogue or in a Quest Rogue. Probably not much outside of that right now. So competitive in those decks. Praise Galakrond is awful in and out of Galakrond decks. Seal Fate, same thing, awful in and out of Galakrond decks. Necreum Apothecary, I really hope Waxadred works and Necreum Apothecary is a great card in that deck, but I'm still, at the moment, not convinced, so I would still probably say garbage. It's on the fringe of fringe garbage, if that makes sense. Next, we have Umbral Shulker, which is a Galakrond card, so it's garbage, but it has a very nice meme combo effect, and I'm sure I'll find some use for those 3 extra coins. So excited for that card, even though it's garbage. Stowaway is a very exciting card. It compares favorably almost to Elven Minstrel, which was a 4-mana 3/2 combo. This is a battle cry, so it's essentially about the same mana cost in that sense. So Elven Minstrel saw a lot of play, and I think Stowaway will see a lot of play as well. Next, we have Waxadred, which I really hope works, but I'm still of the opinion that it won't. So I'm unfortunately giving Waxadred the garbage rating, but I hope I'm wrong about that. Candle Breath falls in the same category as Waxadred. Unfortunately, garbage right now, but I hope to be proved wrong. Flick Sky Shiv, great card, will be seen in pretty much every single rogue deck. And lastly, Galakrond, I don't think is quite good enough. I think Tempo Rogue is just superior, so for that reason, Galakrond, garbage. So that is Rogue. Some good Tempo Rogue support, some good Burgo Rogue support, and hopefully a new archetype in Waxadred Rogue. Not convinced, but hopefully. But I think Galakrond Rogue will fall by the wayside, as Tempo Rogue is just superior right now. So that is Rogue. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward to the next review.